Renting big-ticket leisure items like boats, pools, RVs, even vacation homes offers flexibility, fun, and savings without the long-term costs and responsibilities of ownership. Joining us to discuss is Craig Bolanos, co-founder and wealth advisor, VestGen Wealth Partners in Inverness and Downers Grove. Find him online, getretiredstayretired.com. Craig, thank you for joining us today. And it's one of the oldest sayings around, Craig, and that is the happiest day of your life is the day you buy your boat. The second happiest day of your life is the day you sell your boat. And why not rent that boat instead?
Rob, you're talking to a boat owner and also a boat renter. So I got to tell you, this is right up my alley. There's a dream in America to fill up the garage, to have all the toys. But when you really do a feasibility study from ownership to insurance to repair risk, you really got to question the wisdom of owning it when you can simply rent the experience.
I mean, that's a real responsibility. As you know, boat ownership, you have to make sure it's stored during the winter. You have to get it ready for the season. You have to pay to put it in a slip if you do not keep it in your garage. And that's the same thing for an RV. That's the same thing for a vacation home. And when you add up the costs of owning that vacation home, Vrbo looks a lot more attractive.
You know, Rob, I have to say, I think there's a changing landscape. I think there's a changing dynamic relative to American consumerism. There was a time in my career as a wealth advisor that people were focused on stuff. Now we find generations that are focused on experiences, and it's easier to curate a diverse set of experiences when you're renting and you're not tied down, not anchored to something. And I think that's being embraced by so many Americans. It's not just the financial aspect, it's the flexibility that comes with it.
And how did the COVID pandemic change people's attitudes towards owning an RV or owning a boat or owning a vacation home? Because for a while in 2020 and into 2021, that's all you could do. You spent that vacation money, that dream vacation money, on the RV to drive across the country and maybe work remotely, or on that lake house because that was the only place you could go.
Well, I can speak to myself only. You know, whether we're spending time in Southwest Florida, whether I'm spending time in South Central Wisconsin, those are two different properties attached to the water. We saw prices go through the roof during COVID. There was such a demand, such a clamoring, whether it was lake houses, recreational vehicles, RVs, Class A's, fifth wheels. Now there's excess inventory in a lot of places because here we are, 4 to 5 years on the other side of COVID, and people aren't getting the utility anymore that they once did of those things. And when people aren't getting the utility, the inventory comes up, the prices can come down just a smidge, and I encourage everybody to get a budget, do an honest feasibility study of what works for you and your portfolio. And before you buy, you got to try. And that's why renting in so many of these recreational vehicle programs is a great way for Americans to start before they make the plunge into a long-term commitment.
Craig Bolanos, co-founder and wealth advisor, VestGen Wealth Partners in Inverness and Downers Grove. Find him online, getretiredstayretired.com.